Okay, so now I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to create surfaces. The first and easiest way is to create a planar surface. So if you go to the surface menu, expand plane and hit corner to corner, you can create a surface by defining its two opposite corners. And I'm going to set this one to shaded so that you can see the surface. Every surface that is created is having some properties. One important one is the normal of that surface, which is a vector perpendicular to it. So if you type in dir, short for direction, and then select your surface and hit enter, these white arrows show that the normal of this plane is pointing to the positive z direction. Another way of creating surface is that, let's say you have 3 points, and you can create a surface that passes through these points. The order in which you select these points matters. So I clicked on this point first, second, and third, and it rotated the plane this way. Now if I click on this point first, this one second, and then this one third, you see that it creates a plane at a different orientation for me. Then one other way of creating plane is that, let's say you have some boundary line, and if you type in planar surface, you can see the command here, select the curve and hit enter. It creates a planar surface within those boundary curve that you defined. Then if I come down, there is loft that I showed you how it works in the previous command. In the previous video, if you have 1, 2 or more cross sections, let's say like that, I'm going to draw them here, and then these should be at different heights. You can loft a surface between these curves. So if you type in loft and select the curves to be lofted, you can select all 3 of them, and it creates a surface so that it passes through these curves. Another command for making surface is creating a surface by using sweep one rail. To use that command, you would need to have a surface to use it as the rail. So I'm going to copy this curve here, and I am then going to create a profile. First, I want to use a straight line. I'm going to the side view. As you can see, when I want to draw this line, it is sometimes it's in this plane, other times it is going to be attached or projected onto the Z line, so that this cross section is line, as you can see in my front view, is all the way out. To create a vertical line, I need to turn on planar in the bottom, and now I can draw a line that is in the ZY plane in my right view. So I create this line, and I can zoom here. I have the bottom curve as the rail and the top curve as the profile. So when you run this sweep one rail, it asks you to select the rail. You select the curve, and it automatically asks you to select sweep shapes. You can select this profile, and it sweeps the profile across that rail for you. Instead of a line, you can have a curve. So for example, let me draw a curve here, and delete this line, and I run the sweep one rail again. This is my rail, and then this time this curve is my profile, and it sweeps it for me, and I can hit OK. The other command for creating a surface is using sweep two rails, and that is when you have a top and bottom rail and then a profile that you want to sweep between these two. So to use that, I am going to first use the same curve as my bottom curve, and either use the curved profile or the straight line, it doesn't matter, as a profile. And for the top curve, I'm going to use this top curve that I previously used for creating a loft surface and put it here. So now I have two rails and a profile. Then I'm going to surface, sweep two rails, select the first rail, select the second rail, and select the sweep shapes. Here it is, and then hit enter. And leave the settings as is. So you can see that the curve, the surface has been created for me. And another command that I want to show you is creating by revolving the cross section. So this is very similar to making a vase. Let's say I have a vertical line as a central axis, and then I have some profile that I want to be rotated around this. So I'm going to surface, revolve. It asks me to select the surface, the curve that I want to revolve, that is the one, and then when I'm done, I should hit enter, and then it asks for the start of the revolve axis and then the end of the revolve axis. So when you do that, here's my surface. You can select if it's going to revolve full degree or halfway. That's up to you. There is a full circle preset that you can just click on, and it revolves that for you. So this is another way of creating surfaces.